G'day, I'm Humphrey and I thought I would share with you my experience of walking to Frenchman's Cap. This is a 3 to 4 day hike in the southwest coast of Tasmania, and it goes in and out the same track, trying to climb up to the top of Frenchman's Cap, which is that. Yes, that rock in the distance is the thing I'm hoping to stand on top of soon. So my plan for the first day was to walk 15 kilometres from the car into Lake Vera and set up camp for the night. I didn't start until 2 PM because it was New Year's Eve the night before, so I had to just keep walking and I didn't get to take many stops because I wanted to get there for dinner. Well, apart from stopping to get some water. And I always like to purify my water to make sure there's no nasty bugs in it. Some of the forest you walk through this day is beautiful, especially amongst these trees. Hey, so I'm coming up towards the end of day one of the Frenchman's Cap track. I should be about maybe 2 kilometres away from, I think, Lake Vera Hut, which I'll stay there tonight. And just in time for dinner, I made it to the campsite for the night. So I set up my camp, rehydrated my spaghetti bolognese, made a cup of hot chocolate, and enjoyed the sunset. The next morning started like most do. That was quite luxurious, wasn't it? Good morning. So I'm just starting the second day of the Frenchman's Cap trail. I'm about half a kilometre in and we're just traversing the side of this lake right here. So I'm planning to spend the night at the next hut. Apparently it's beautiful with a great swimming hole. If the summit is clear and I have energy, I will do that as well. As you can tell, the track has become a lot more technical and slow walking, but it's much more beautiful. This is about halfway up the first big hill. It was quite a steep track hiking up here. About an hour in, I got to Barren Pass, where you get a great view of Frenchman's Cap, and it's a perfect spot to have a cup of coffee. We're coming for you, Frenchmans. I really enjoyed walking along here, along the side of this mountain, with Frenchman's Cap just always poking through the trees. Doesn't it look a lot like Half Dome in Yosemite? I actually kept calling it in my head Half Dome this whole walk. And the cloud has started to roll in. Hopefully that's gone by the time I'm up there. So this day is only a 6 kilometre hike from my campsite to where I was planning to stay at Tahune Hut the next night. But it took much longer than you'd expect because it's just all uphill and quite technical. There's a lot of this. And there she is. We're almost at the foot of Frenchman's Cap. At the foot of that mountain is Lake Tahune and the Tahune Hut, which is where I was going to stay the night. So once I got to the hut, I made myself some lunch, claimed myself a bed, and headed up the summit. Yes, that's rain you can see. While I was having lunch, the summit was actually covered in cloud. But that lifted, so even though it had started raining, I knew it was time to head up. Just look how beautiful this is. Every time I watch this, I'm still amazed. So it's actually only a 2-kilometre hike up and a 2-kilometre hike back, but it's 500 metres of elevation gain, which is a 25% grade. So it is a bit slow going. There is the hut in Lake Tahune. So this footage is actually giving you a false impression of how easy the walk is. I was filming this on my phone, so which meant I had to be able to hold my phone in my hand while walking along. Which meant I've only got footage of the places where it was relatively flat and I could walk without needing to put both hands out to grab onto rocks. That's Mount Owen in the background from Queenstown. The top of Frenchman's Cap is pretty much bald, just some gravel. I think me and the mountain have something in common, hey? And here we are. So, this is the summit of Frenchman's Cap. Pretty epic. It's hard to believe that only this morning I was walking along the sides of those cliffs down there. So you basically get 365-degree views up here. I'm so coming back on a day when the sky is crystal clear. So I actually stayed up here for ages. It was quite warm, still, gentle, but after a while the clouds started coming in. So it was time to do the Barry and head back to the hut. So I actually enjoyed being up here so much, and just the atmosphere at Lake Tahune was so beautiful that I decided to stay a second night and have a bit of a rest day and just read and chill and pray and spend some time up here in the mountains. There wasn't many people in the hut, so I knew there would be room, and I actually headed back up the summit the second day. The views were about the same. And to top off an amazing day, we went down to the helipad and watched the sunset. So, the last day. Time to walk all the way from Lake Tahune back to the car. This would be a solid day, 22 kilometres of hiking. I really enjoyed walking back through here. It was good to see all of these mountains and crags from a different angle. Here's an example of some of the rough stuff on this part of the track, where you need to get your hands in and pull yourself up. Part way down the really steep section, I caught up with some people I met the previous night at the hut, so I walked with them for a while. But since I had a long day ahead of me, I kept going. So I started this hike on January 1, and I cannot think of a better way to start the year. For me, coming out to nature is a very spiritual experience. There's so much time to reflect, to reset, to pray, to meditate, to listen. I find coming out into nature, coming out into creation restores my soul. And so this was the perfect start to 2024. I hope you've enjoyed walking with me. I hope you've been inspired to get out there. At the very least, I hope you've just enjoyed some of this scenery that Tasmania has to offer.